Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a bit of a different location. I actually just film usually about 1 meter that way, but I couldn't bother to move my chair today. I was sitting on my little sofa in the corner. Hope you guys don't mind. This plant apparently wants to get in on the action. Today I've got an exciting video because I know a few of you watched my colour analysis video. So today I just kind of wanted to film a 6-month update to share the changes I've made since then, if I still think it's worth the money, and generally just my thoughts 6 months on. I'm going to link down below my colour analysis video, and I've kind of done a few other videos, so maybe I'll just link a playlist. So last June, almost 8 months ago, I had my colour analysis, and then in September I also had a style analysis. Both of these were done with House of Colour, and both of these appointments were PR appointments, and therefore they were gifted. I'm ring critical, and I'm going to kind of view it as though I had spent my own money on it. And both appointments were with Fiona from House of Colour. And like I said, I'm going to link those videos down below, but the results of that video was that I am a sultry winter, which, if you have seen the video, really surprised me. I went in really thinking that I was a warm tone. I went in thinking that I was an autumn, to be completely honest, and I came out knowing that that in fact is not the truth. It left me with quite a lot to kind of come to terms with. I know it's just kind of fashion style, but it still kind of left me with a few things to think about and decisions to make. But actually I'm really happy that that colour analysis took place when it did. I really feel that even now I'm just not quite where I was maybe 5 years ago with my style. I felt far more confident with my style 5 years ago, but now I think post lockdown and also going into my 30s, I'm 31 at the moment, 32 in the next couple of days, it's just kind of a lot of like changes. We didn't really get dressed that much during lockdown, and my views kind of on buying stuff changed a little bit. And then I also went into my 30s. I don't know, like life just changes, I think, as you come into your 30s. So I've kind of been making changes very slowly. One thing I did do is I changed my hair colour. It's still a little bit warmer than I'd like it. I'm getting it dyed next week actually, I think. I'm actually kind of keeping this colour, but it's kind of faded out a little bit, so I'm going to re-dye it. And I've slowly kind of shifted towards silver jewellery. I still wear gold. I'm kind of not really buying gold. I am largely buying silver, or more so kind of silver with a little bit of gold. So silver with a little bit of gold, silver with a little bit of gold, and that's kind of really worked well for me. I didn't want to go out and just buy all new jewellery, so I've kind of been like filtering it in. I don't know if I'll ever wear just silver. Maybe, I'm not sure. At the moment it's kind of been a bit of a balance between the two. In terms of positives, I really think that my colour analysis has made my shopping much easier. I now know point blank that there are colours that I pretty much can't wear. This is my colour fan, and I now know that there are some colours, namely yellow and orange, that I pretty much just can't wear. So if we have a little look through, I have one singular yellow, which is this one, which is called Ice Lemon. So a very icy yellow, pretty much white with a hint of yellow. And I have Acid Yellow, and that is it. That's the only yellow I have. I have not a single orange in my fan. So when I'm in a shop, sometimes shops are kind of organised by colour. If they are, I will skip that yellow section altogether, and I will skip the orange section altogether. Filtering online, I will kind of filter between colours that I kind of generally know suit me a bit better. So I know which colours are my like top colours, so pinks, reds, so those sort of colours I think suit me the most. Sometimes I will just select on those colours, but I would say it has made my life that little bit easier, and like shopping a little bit easier. It's really made me understand why some things that I thought didn't work don't work. I mentioned this in my last video. I have a cord that's yellow, and I've kind of always like I really like it, but it doesn't suit me, and I've never really been able to articulate that, and suddenly I know exactly why it doesn't suit me. It's the colour. The colour is just off on me. Still, I feel like I haven't quite got the hold of the colour chart, because realistically we don't carry this around all the time. I don't bring it out every time I'm about to buy something. I do think I've bought a couple of things that maybe weren't quite my colour, or maybe were a winter but weren't quite a sultry winter. So for example, I bought a blue dress which I wore to a wedding, which I think is quite a wintry shade, but I just don't think it was enough of a pop for it to kind of been a wow dress. It was fine. I don't think it looked terrible, but I just feel like I could have probably picked a nicer colour. I just think it takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to shopping for your season. It's also meant that I've really been able to streamline my wardrobe. I still have a little bit of work to do, and actually I think I might try on every item of clothing on my wardrobe on video, if that's something you're interested in. It seems like quite a difficult task, but actually I think it's doable, because I don't actually think my wardrobe is that extensive. I've definitely been able to clear it out, especially with items that I've been like unsure about. if they're not my colour and I'm unsure about them generally, then I've just kind of been able to get rid of them that little bit easier. Now, something I will say, and I mentioned this in my last video, is I feel very, very lucky that on my colour chart I have both pure white and black and also greys. There was a bit of a discussion in the comment section of my last video as to whether winter is the only season that can wear black, and according to House Colour it is. So I feel very fortunate that I can wear black. Obviously black is very easy, and one thing I will say is that I've really come to rely on black too much. I have really fallen onto black when I just don't know what to buy or what to wear, and that is something that I really want to stop. I really enjoy wearing white, and I think actually it's a colour that looks very nice on me. I'm kind of happy to wear white, but I would definitely like to wear less black. So I feel like it was a bit of a blessing and a curse that I can wear black. And then on to cons, and really the only con I can see is that it can be limiting, and I mentioned this before. To be honest, I haven't really found it personally very limiting. Sometimes there'll be something that I'm like, oh, this is really nice, and then I'm like, oh, it's not my colour, and so I don't buy it. But I don't necessarily see that as being a bad thing, because potentially I would buy that and then never wear it because it doesn't suit me as well as other things do in my wardrobe. But with that, I really think that it's important not to take this too seriously. Like, sometimes I'll wear something that isn't quite the right colour for me, and I'm okay with that, especially if it's something that's already in my wardrobe. If, for example, I were going to a party and they asked me to wear yellow, I probably would just wear yellow. It's not the end of the world. That said, I'm not very keen adding yellow to my wardrobe, but if I were asked to wear yellow, I would ask around and see if I could find some sort of yellow that suits me. I've also been speaking to a few of my friends about this, and they haven't had colour analysis. And although I think they're tempted, they're kind of like worried that currently, without their colour analysis, they're not wearing the right colour. And I just feel like it's not worth like losing time over. Of course, I spend a little bit of time like trying to work it out, but if you can't, it's not the end of the world. I do though really think that this session is worth it. It's £250, which I think in the grand scheme of things is definitely worth it, because I think it will save you £250 in the long run, because we all know that you do buy items that just don't really work out no matter how much you thought about them, and that you end up not wearing. And because your season doesn't change for the rest of your life, it really does feel like a very good investment. Another place where I'm kind of still very, very much struggling is makeup. I do think my makeup is slightly less warm than it has been. If anything, it's very orange. I've been getting rid of it. I no longer really reach for like peachy lipsticks or like orange eyeshadows, which I really definitely was, because I think there's been very much a trend towards orange and very, very, very warm makeup. I do think that now we're kind of starting to see more cool and 90s makeup coming in. So I've kind of been going for more like neutral makeup. So like today's eyeshadow, it's more of a neutral eyeshadow. My lip, I think, is still a little bit warm, but again, like, I'm not too stressed about it. I'm kind of just allowing myself to kind of go with the flow with it, like bear it in mind but not let it consume everything I do. Since my colour analysis, I have made a few videos about it, and honestly the amount I have learned through the comments has been insane. So a huge thank you to anyone that has left me a comment. I can't remember who mentioned this, but someone said to me that it's important to think about your season and patterns. So for example, if you're a spring, then kind of like florally patterns really look nice on you. If you're an autumn leaves kind of look very nice on you. And then if you're a winter, stuff like polka dots that kind of resemble snowballs. And honestly, it blew my mind. I have a jacket that it just doesn't work for me. It's just the colours are off, the style's off, like everything just really feels off. And that comment, I've been thinking about it ever since. I haven't followed through and bought a lot with that idea in mind, but I definitely think I will, and it'll kind of stay in my mind for a long time. And actually a lot of you have said that you have had colour analysis and found it very helpful. I actually don't think anyone said that they had done it and didn't find it helpful. Someone mentioned also that they wish I had a sultry winter fan, and I actually think that that's true. I mentioned this in my other video, that I really wish that a fan was emailed to me so that when I'm out and about I can reference that something on my phone, and B, I think that way they could make a much more specific to, for example, sultry winter or a bright winter. I don't know if that's a thing within House of Colour, more specific to the subcategories. I suspect the reason that they haven't is because these are expensive and they probably make a bit of profit off these compared to having the consultants email everyone a PDF. But maybe they could do this along with the PDF, but again, I suspect it's a money-making thing that they really insist on this rather than a PDF. I also saw a few people mention that I can wear my seasons either side, so for example autumn. I think this is probably true to a certain degree, and some colours I do think look okay on me, but equally there are some autumn shades which I truly think look terrible. And if you have a look at me being draped, for example olive green, which I think is an autumn colour, really doesn't look great on me. So I'm personally kind of trying to stay away from that as much as possible. So really my conclusion 7 or 8 months on is that I really do think that the colour analysis is worth it. It's knowledge about yourself, and they say knowledge is power, and yes I know it's just clothes, but it's not really just clothes in my opinion. So yes, take it with a pinch of salt, but if you have the money, I really would recommend getting a colour analysis done. I think you can probably find them a little bit cheaper online. I don't know if they're as accurate, I haven't done ones, so it's kind of tricky for me to say. Although £250 sounds like a lot, I think it is relatively reasonable, and I think 30 years from now it's still something that I will be thinking about and using, so that has to be value for money, I think. And I know there are some kind of tools online that you can do it yourself, but I think you'll always go into it with preconceived ideas, and it's so easy to kind of like steer yourself to what you want to be. I had done those online apps and done those online questionnaires, and I really truly believed that I was an autumn. Funny because so many of you guys said that as soon as you clicked on my video you knew I was a winter, but I just could not see that. I really think your perception is hazed by what you want to be, and honestly I just wanted to keep wearing gold. I feel like I have come to terms with that a little bit more. But if you have got a couple of minutes and you do want to learn a little bit more about colour analysis, I would really highly recommend you go through the comments on that playlist, because it's not even about watching my videos, it's about how incredibly insightful all the comments were on those videos. And then whilst we're here, it has only been 4 months since, but I really wanted to talk about my style analysis. I personally don't see the value in it. I think Fiona is incredible at her job when it comes to colour analysis, but I think style analysis just is so much harder. It's also almost double the price to have a style analysis, and I really feel that I learned very little from my style analysis, and I left maybe more confused than I went going in, or if not more confused, as confused. I can't even tell you what I was matched to, because I really feel that it didn't resonate with me, and I just find that it's so limiting, kind of putting people into just 6 categories, because style isn't like colour. Like style can change, and although I know the idea is kind of that they look at your body and what that's leaning towards, and I totally accept that, but I just don't think it's as clear cut as colour. Yeah, at this moment in time I really would recommend the colour analysis, and personally I wouldn't recommend to any of my friends the style analysis. I would love a style analysis somewhere else, somewhere that's a bit kind of more modern and more open. I mentioned this in my video where I was talking about style analysis. I've seen a few style analysis sessions where they pick 3 words that kind of that they want to describe their style, and I think that works so much better. And those words are really varied. You could pick colourful, you could pick sophisticated, you could pick luxurious, you could pick pretty. Like there's so many words you could pick any 3 words, whereas I think having to pick off, I think it's like an 8-word chart, I just think is too limiting. Like I said, I really don't think it added that much value to my wardrobe and my life, even though I really wish it had. I would love someone to help me articulate what I would like my style to be and kind of help organize all those thoughts going on in my brain, but I really think that the style analysis just didn't do that for me. So that's the end of this video. I hope it was somewhat informative. I wasn't sure if like 6 months was too soon to do it, and who knows, I might do a year on one, even though I really don't think my views will really change that much. Like I mentioned, I might try on my entire wardrobe, which seems like such a task, but I actually don't have that much in my wardrobe. But if that is something you're interested in, do let me know, and just let me know generally what videos you would like to see from me next, whether they be style related or makeup related or life related. So that's it from me today. Subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it. I shall see you next Thursday, and hope you have a lovely week until then. Bye.